Hello everyone, Blake Crash-Priddle here. I had the immense pleasure to meet and interview Dr. Temple Grandin in January in Sault Ste Marie. For those of you who don't know, Temple Grandin is an animal sciences professor from Colorado State University who happens to be on the autism spectrum. In 2010, she was listed as one of Time magazine's most influential people. She also has an Emmy Award-winning movie made about her life starring Claire Danes. This was the first time Dr. Grandin had visited Northern Ontario. She did 2 presentations. The first one was to local cattle farmers where she spoke on how to raise livestock in low-stress environment. The second presentation was organized by the Autism Algoma Foundation where 600 people heard her speak about her experiences with autism. Before she took the stage, I talked with her about autism and employment. In her book, Different Not Less, Temple chronicles 14 inspiring stories of achievement and successful employment from adults with autism, Asperger's, and ADHD. Have a listen to what she had to say about this important topic. Well, Dr. Grandin, first of all, it's a big honor to meet you.
Well, it's good to be here.
Yes, I'd like to chat with you about your views on career and job opportunities and autism. 85% of adults with autism are either unemployed or underemployed. What do you think it will take to change the employer problem that most of us have to get meaningful paid work?
Well, the way I got paid work was by being really good at what I do and selling people based on a portfolio of my work, designing cattle facilities, writing articles for cattle magazines. That's how I started. Get really good at a skill other people want. I learned how to sell my work. And I'd take my drawings out and I'd show them to people and they go, oh, you did that? And then I'd get a job at another feed yard to design a facility. Get good at something because you're not going to do very well in the job interview. So you need to get good at something like art or computer programming or design work or journalism, and you sell your work.
What advice do you have for young adults like myself struggling to get hired?
Just start out freelance, put good stuff out there. There's all kinds of free publishing tools online now that were not around when I was first starting out. I want to let you know that book, The Martian, that big hit movie, that started out as a computer programmer's blog. And then it was put on a 99-cent Amazon Kindle book, and it took off. But you got to make sure you don't put rubbish out on there online. Test drive it with some people first. But there's all kinds of publishing tools to put stuff out there, and you get known for your work, then you're going to get hired.
What would you tell the parents to do?
Well, there's all different, I have to tell parents depending on what age of the kid. If you have a 3-year-old that's not talking, you need to get them into a really good early intervention. The other thing I'd recommend, kids that are different, they're labeled autism, Asperger's, ADHD, dyslexic, they need to start doing jobs when they're in middle school, paper route substitutes, things like walking dogs. When I was 15, I was cleaning horse stalls. I was building things. I was doing all kinds of job-related stuff, working on my aunt's ranch. Getting job experience before you graduate from high school and college is a really good idea.
Now, in your career path, what, if any, workplace strategies or accommodations were helpful to help you succeed?
Well, fortunately, there were some good people in the cattle industry that helped me. The movie showed people that were bad to me, but that was the cowboy foremans. The people that were good to me were the owners of the feed yards, and there was a contractor that seeked me out. I also had some bosses that told me rather bluntly when I criticized some welding in a really rude way that calling it pigeon doo-doo was not okay. The boss needs to just help coach the person on some of the social mistakes, and you cannot be vague.
And if autistic youth and adults get recruited for a job in their field, is it important that the workplace and the person work together to make that job a success?
Well, there's a lot of ways to make it successful. I've been out to Silicon Valley, and half those programmers are on the autism spectrum. And the way they get those jobs is they show off a portfolio of programming. There's all kinds of free classes online for things like programming, learning geometry, all sorts of things. But sell yourself by showing off your portfolio. Then in my book, The Autistic Brain, I talk about different kinds of thinking. Visual thinkers like me, who are good in fields like industrial design or photography. Pattern thinkers, who are good at mathematics, statistics, computer programming. Then you have word thinkers, be very, very good at things like specialized retail jobs, like maybe selling hardware or jewelry, and people that are word thinkers.
Would you consider yourself a word or a picture thinker?
I am definitely a picture thinker, And that was very useful to me in my work with animals and on designing facilities, because I could test run equipment in my head. There's too much emphasis on the deficits, not enough emphasis on building up the skill that the kid can be good at something. I was very pleased to see here in this town that there's a vocational school for skilled trades, because I've worked with many people in skilled trades on construction sites that I know are on the mild end of the autism spectrum. Really good mechanics and welders.
Dr. Grandin, thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to seeing your presentation this evening.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
To find out more about Dr. Temple Grandin, or if you would like to purchase one of her books, visit her website at www.templegrandin.com. I'm Blake Crash Priddle. Thanks for listening.